everybody. We're out in the garden tonight. We're gonna do a little update for everybody. We have a lot of vegetables that are starting to come on. I'm gonna go through this area first. This is our tomato and peppers. Nate and Ryan actually installed a drip system for the tomatoes and peppers. This is not on a timer, but all we have to do is hook up a hose to this little contraption over here. And just like with the flowers on the porch with the drip irrigation system, we have some drippers in here, and these are flowing a lot faster and a lot more than the ones for the flowers, but we'll keep this on for like a half hour or so and just make sure everything is getting really well saturated. It's been really hot. It's been in the 90s, so we've been watering about every other night. But so these tomatoes here, I think these were our big beefs.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we get down here, we actually already have some tomatoes that have come on, so that's good.
These are the good ones.
Yeah, these are the Cherokee Carbons.
Mm-hmm.
These are Nate's favorites. We have some over here. These are the pinks.
Oh,
And
here, that's a big plant.
you can see the pinks have a different leaf than the other ones, so these are easier to distinguish for me just by the looks of the leaves. But yeah, we've got some more tomatoes here on the pinks, and they'll be really pretty when they turn. They're actually a really pretty pink color. Over here, this was our Laromas.
Mm-hmm. 8 of them.
Yeah, 8 Laromas, but we plan on canning a lot this fall. We're gonna make a bunch of spaghetti sauce, and these are my favorite tomatoes to can with. So we don't have any tomatoes on here yet, but we've got some blooms.
They're such a small plant.
Yeah, they're really small and compact, but they produce a ton of tomatoes on each plant. So, and then this last row of tomatoes, these are our Amish paste, and we have some tomatoes on here as well. The Amish paste I don't really like as like a slicing tomato. These are basically more for canning purposes. They're a little more mealy and kind of grainy, so
They're big.
yeah, they get big, but I like them more just for strictly for canning. And then this last little tomato plant is our Sun Sugar, and this thing will produce like 2,000 yellow tomatoes, but they're really sweet, and I can't wait for those to come on and show everybody.
Once they start churning and you start picking them, it's nothing to pick 20, 30, 40 off of that plant every day from the middle of July till September, till you pull it because you're tired of picking and eating them.
Yeah. And then these are the poblano peppers. And we actually have some peppers on here, on a couple of them. These usually get pretty big in size, so I'll use these for stuffed peppers, or these are the ones too that we slice up and put on the smoker and dry them out, and then we grind it into ancho powder, and we'll use that in our chili and our Mexican dishes that I make. And then this last row of peppers, they're all jalapenos, so I just like using those for canning, and we make like cowboy candy with them and
Popper dip.
popper dip, yep. So yeah, these are all getting watered right now. We'll leave this on for about a half hour and make sure everything gets good and saturated. But this drip system is awesome in the garden this year. This is the first year we've had it in the garden. So we're gonna come over here, and we did 3 rows of green beans this year. The rabbits seem to love these, so So if you get down here, you can see where they actually ate off quite a few of the bean stalks, but we have some new growth, so we're trying to keep those treated so the rabbits stay out of them, but we'll have plenty of green beans to can this fall. And I'd like to pickle some as well, so. Our zucchini and our cucumber plants are doing really well. We don't really have, well, I guess there's a couple of blooms starting here on the bottom, but I like the zucchini. We grill it and I use it in a chocolate zucchini bread. But all these recipes that I mentioned, I'm going to have videos on all of this stuff later on in the fall. So this pepper here
Your
is,
stray dog.
yeah, this is our just a green bell pepper. It was an extra one and it was kind of in bad shape, and I hated to just throw it away, so I just kind of put it in the ground, and we're hoping. But it does have a little pepper on the top, so we'll have something at least, hopefully.
Your magic.
Yeah. And these are our potato rows. This is our Kennebec row. It did not produce as well as past years for some reason. We did this middle row was our Yukon Golds, and as you can see, we have two plants. We don't know what happened there, but this row is all of the baby reds, and they look amazing. We're gonna have a ton of baby reds, but
that's good. They're my favorite.
Yeah, they're Nate's favorite. I just like to cut them up and roast them in the oven with some herbs and some salt and olive oil.
You got blooms.
Yeah, we have blooms. And it doesn't look like, you know, a whole lot of potato plants, but once you dig them up, each plant yields quite a few potatoes.
We just hilled those this week.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to make sure. Yeah, in a previous video, after we got the seed potatoes in, we said we wanted them to grow like a foot tall, and then you hill them, and
See, a lot of people just make a hill and plant the potato in the hill. It doesn't do you any good.
Yeah.
You grow them in a hill, not on a hill.
Okay. And our peas are looking really good. They've produced a lot of pods. They're not ready yet, but they have a ton of pods on there. We basically just plant the peas to stand out in the garden and eat them. But I will come out and pick some when we do stir fry. But otherwise, we're just out here in the garden chowing down on peas. Our onions are looking really good. These are the transplants. We did, what did we do? 2 rows of
candy,
and then 1 row of
red candy apple.
Yeah, red candy apple.
That'd be that row.
Yep. But they're starting to get some bulbs on them. We did plant 3 of the onion sets that we wanted to show you and kind of compare. So these are all of the transplants. And then on the end, these 3 here will be the onion sets. And there's a reason we like the transplants, because the sets just don't seem to produce big enough bulbs. But the transplants always do really well.
We'll see. What's that thing?
What? Oh, the kohlrabi? Yeah, I don't usually have very good luck with kohlrabi, and I did get a couple this year. The bulbs are getting a little bigger, so I'll at least have maybe 3 bulbs to eat. And I am trying something new this year. I got a lemon tree for Mother's Day. It just came in a box. I transplanted it to this container. I'm keeping my fingers crossed It's still alive. I don't have any idea when it will bear any fruit or if it will, but I'm really excited to see if I get something out of it.
You'll have grandkids before you have lemons.
Yeah. And then the final thing in the garden is our garlic, which we're really excited about because with our garlic, you get garlic scapes. And this stem here with this little flower bulb is the garlic scape. And I am going to actually grab my scissors. And I'm going to show you how to cut those off. I got my hod here. This hod is great because when we come out and we're able to pick some tomatoes or whatever vegetable, we can throw it in this and rinse them off in this and they'll drain really well. But these garlic scapes, you want to make sure you get them cut off when they come up and they start to curl like this, because if you don't, it takes nutrients away from the actual garlic bulbs and you will not get big enough cloves. So when we cut this off, we've always had really good luck with our garlic cloves. They're always pretty big cloves. But all you do is you get down as far as you can and just cut it off. This flower part here is kind of tough and woody, so I wouldn't recommend eating it. It is edible, but again, it would be pretty tough. So I just cut it off about there and just kind of discard that. And then this is what you have left.
Delicious.
They're delicious. They aren't as strong as the garlic cloves, but we use these in, we'll make compound butter. I make a lot of my pesto with these. You can also grill these, so they're kind of like a part vegetable, part herb. But you just want to go through all of your garlic and anything, any scape, everything will have a scape, so.
Every plant has one.
Yeah. So just cut it off, discard the flower and throw it in there. I'll do one more. Sometimes we do miss one. They're kind of hard to see, but I'm going to take these over here because after I get these cut, I just like to store them in just a glass of water like this and keep them in the refrigerator until I use them. These will keep for several weeks, I think, so I've never frozen them. I don't know how that would be. Usually things like this, if you freeze it, will tend to get kind of slimy, so I like to use them when they're super fresh. But yeah, this is our garden this year, and I think it's going to produce really well. We'll do a couple more updates, but stay tuned because in this video I'm going to show you how we make our compound butter, and in a previous video I did pesto. Maybe I'll do one more with the garlic scapes and let you see that process, but yeah, stay tuned and we'll do some compound butter for you. Hi everybody, we are back inside and we have our garlic scapes that we cut off the other day. I've just had them in a cup of water and I've kept them in the refrigerator, but I'm going to show you how to make this compound butter. It's really simple. It's butter and garlic scapes. You can add other herbs if you want, like thyme or basil, but this time I'm just going to do the garlic scapes in it. We have 8 sticks of butter, and I usually use just the unsalted butter, but I'm going to throw all of this butter into a food processor. And it's softened a little bit. I've left it out for an hour or so. And that just helps so it doesn't get so clumpy. And then I do not measure out my garlic scapes for this, just whatever I think looks like there's enough, but these will snap really easy. I'd probably do 1 or 2 garlic scapes for each stick of butter, but you can always test it when you're done blending everything to see. And if you want it a little more salty, just use salted butter or just add your own salt to taste. This compound butter is really good. We use it in fried potatoes. You can use it on top of grilled steak. You could do it with mashed potatoes, but we usually just do it with our fried potatoes.
Makes good garlic bread.
Yeah, put it on garlic bread. All right, I think one more and I'll probably be done here. So that's in there. I'm gonna pop this on. And I'm gonna start, I'm gonna pulse it just a little bit at first, just to get everything started. And if you need to, pop the lid off and kind of mash everything in there. It does help if the butter is a little more softened before you do this, but you don't want it on there. All right, I'm going to start this up. Now you can see in here that some of those scapes are already starting to combine with the butter. This probably isn't the best spatula to use, but as long as everything gets down in there. Really good. It looks like all the scapes are chopped up and they're combined well with the butter, so that's it for mixing that up. And then what we like to do is, if we know we're not going to use this butter right away, if you are going to use it right away, you can use little jars and put it in little jars, but we typically don't use it right away. So we like to take just little squares of wax paper, and we'll freeze this, and it lasts a long time in the freezer. So I just put like a dollop of butter, and then try not to roll it too much, because when it freezes, if you want to use it like right from the freezer and you want to put it in a pan right away, the paper will stick in there. So I would just kind of roll that up halfway and then roll that over, and we just use twist ties for the ends. And we will give these little butter logs away for gifts if we're giving like some of our canned foods away. And we make little, kind of like little kits. We'll put some of this frozen butter in them. But that's all there is to it. I'll get this one going. And this will do quite a few little butter logs. And like I said, freeze it and it will stay really well in the freezer for quite a while, at least up to 6 months. So, and that's all you do. And we're gonna pop these in the freezer. I'm gonna do up a couple more and that'll be it.